The two pillars of the harsh zero-COVID policy of the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, over the past 3 years are the full-scale nucleic acid testing and the city lockdowns. For ordinary Chinese, 7 to 10 nucleic acid tests a week is the norm, and for a large city with tens of millions of people, a citywide nucleic acid test completed in just 2 to 3 days is not uncommon. In late November 2022, a white paper revolution took place in over 20 cities in China, with "No Nucleic Acid Test, Yes Freedom" as one of the slogans of the movement. In parallel with the white paper revolution, Chinese netizens are searching for an individual named Zhang Shanshan. This person has revealed to the public the shocking truth of the CCP's nucleic acid testing. This is how the story began. On November 25, 2022, a municipal health commission in northwest China issued a disciplinary notice about a laboratory that handled nucleic acid testing samples in the city. The name of this laboratory is Lanzhou Nucleus Huaxi Laboratory. The disciplinary notice said that on November 24th, a district in Lanzhou City was transporting positive people based on nucleic acid test results. But it was found that the health codes of some individuals were negative, meaning that they were healthy. The notice explained that this was because Lanzhou Nucleus Huaxi Laboratory had mistakenly entered the positive results as negative into the computer. The official notice didn't specify, though, what was being done to take the matter seriously. Once this notice came out, the public suddenly realized that what was thought to be rigorous nucleic acid testing was not professional in reality. What kind of company is the laboratory that can mess up the test results? The online community was shocked by their digging. They found that the company, Lanzhou Nucleus Huaxi, was a new company that opened up on August 8, 2022, and the supervisor of this company, Zhang Shanshan, is not a simple character. Netizens and reporters found through the business search that she actually serves as a supervisor in 35 companies simultaneously, 3 of which have been canceled and 30 of which are wholly owned subsidiaries of Shenzhen Nucleus Gene Technology Co. On November 26th, China's entire online community was looking for Zhang Shanshan, sending the topic to the top search with over 1 billion views. The public's attention was focused on Nucleus Gene. Its official website says that the company was established in 2012 and is a high-tech enterprise that integrates genetic technology research and development and market application. Its actual controllers are a couple who are suspected to be the parents of Zhang Shanshan. Both are master's graduates from China Medical University, with the father having worked for the Shenzhen Public Security Bureau's technology department. The couple has been involved in retail, fashion design, and real estate. In 2012, as the genetic testing business began to heat up in China, the couple founded Nucleus Gene, which provides consumer-grade genetic testing services. Relying on their past relationship with the Public Security Bureau, they were able to capture the large market of forensic third-party testing. The most lucrative judicial testing projects are paternity testing and fetal paternity testing. After the outbreak of the epidemic, Nucleus Gene turned to nucleic acid testing services and has gained high profits. For example, in the 6 months from March to September 2020, the company's nucleic acid testing business in Shenzhen generated a turnover of 450 million renminbi or $64 million US. Public data shows that Nucleus Gene registered 16 subsidiaries in 2022 alone, mostly in the last 3 months, from August to October 2022. Especially in October, 8 subsidiaries were opened in one go. In a report by the Chinese media, China Business Network, it was mentioned that Nucleus Gene's subsidiaries have been repeatedly fined. For example, in April 2020, a subsidiary was warned and fined by the Jinan Health and Wellness Commission for improper disposal of infectious medical waste. In January 2021, this subsidiary again fraudulently reported test results for more than 310,000 people before testing was even completed. It resulted in a warning and a full investigation by a municipality. However, this subsidiary, which had been in trouble twice by then, was able to win the bid for Shandong University's nucleic acid testing project 4 times in August and October of 2021, as well as in January and July of 2022. On the official website of Nucleus Gene, there is no trace of the impact of the fine. It reads, the number of tested individuals in China has exceeded 700 million with 0 errors in sample testing, and that the company has launched an IPO and is committed to becoming the largest genetic test sales platform in China. Venture capital information provider Pencil News reports that, according to the official news release, Nucleus Gene has had 12 violations in less than 3 years, including misreporting test results and getting test results wrong, but this has not affected its ability to continue making money. Assuming that Nucleus Gene does all mixed tests, that is, collecting samples from multiple subjects into the same sampling tube, if the current minimum price of 5 renminbi per person per test is used, Nucleus Gene has made at least 3.5 billion renminbi, or $700 million for 700 million nucleic acid tests. Compared to the huge profits, fines and a government reprimand are nothing. But this has shocked netizens. They wrote, only when one can get the business and also collect the payment can one be sure to open so many companies. This is a man of great ability. Opening so many nucleic acid testing companies in such a short period of time, what kind of background do they have? It must be scary. How terrifying is the profit? They are making such a big fortune over a national tragedy. How do they get such big contracts when they just started up? On December 2nd, a video surfaced on Chinese social media of what appears to be the manager of a nucleic acid testing company paying the employees. The generosity of the staff's salaries left netizens wrenching.
This is RMB 80,000. This is RMB 80,000, and this is RMB 10,000. They include the compensation that I asked for you guys from the boss. Here you are.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't mention it. Li Xia? Is Li Xia here? This older sister works long hours, so she got 110,000. And this is 100,000, and this is 10,000, sister. This is your salary, and then this 10,000 or US 1,500. It's also the compensation I requested for you. Thank you.
An article was published on NetEase entitled, Is it really a misoperation that Lanzhou's group of positive people being transported actually have negative test results? According to the article, as long as the policy of requiring nucleic acid tests is in place, the nucleic acid test labs can keep making money because this is their profit model. When labs give wrong results, if neither the public nor the officials hold them accountable, then falsification is easy to do. In fact, there are many companies like Nucleus Gene. According to the investment research platform Gelonghui, a search on the business database Tianyancha for the keyword medical testing reveals the fact there are over 10,000 companies established within 1 year, 8,900 companies established between 1 and 2 years, and 5,300 companies established between 2 and 3 years. In other words, with the 3-year epidemic, some Chinese with connections and resources quickly realized that nucleic acid testing in China is a big business that can make a fortune, so they scrambled to join this golden industry. The market for nucleic acid testing in China reached approximately $1.73 billion in 2020 and grew at a rate of about 18% in the last 2 years. During this period, both downstream service providers and upstream equipment and reagent manufacturers saw an explosion in performance, with profits showing dozens of times growth, earning money that couldn't have been earned in the past 10 or 20 years in just 2 or 3 years. According to the investment evaluation and content platform Intelligent Investor, in the first half of 2022, the revenue of 104 listed companies related to nucleic acid testing in China was about $35.8 billion, a 37% increase year on year, and the net profit was as high as $9.3 billion, a 76.6% increase year on year. What is difficult for the average Chinese citizen to accept is that, even if the nucleic acid testing industry is making money, it is intolerable that these nucleic acid testing companies are repeatedly falsifying. This is because such falsification could change an individual's fate. A report by NetEase on November 23rd disclosed that between June and July of this year, many provinces launched large-scale inspections of nucleic acid institutions and found that up to 250 third-party nucleic acid testing institutions were frequently falsified. Among them, there are many listed companies or subsidiaries of companies that were planning to go public, such as Nucleus Gene. Some of these companies have been investigated multiple times but continue to operate. On November 29th, the People's Daily, the highest-ranking official media outlet of the CCP, also published a commentary article entitled, "If Nucleic Acid Chaos Does Not End, Outbreak Will Never End," attacking the phenomenon of nucleic acid testing falsification and claiming that the chaos in nucleic acid testing has reached a point where strict laws must be applied to stop it. The article named several companies, such as a company in Shanghai that tested 13 positive nucleic acid tests in one day on May 5, 2022. But upon retesting, all 13 positive nucleic acid tests became negative. However, perhaps the content was too sensitive, or perhaps due to a partisan rivalry at the top of the CCP, this editorial was quickly deleted by various mainland websites. This is not the most shocking for Chinese netizens. As the netizens dug harder, they discovered a fact that could hardly be called a coincidence. Wherever a Nucleus Gene company was opened up, an outbreak would occur, followed by a full-scale nucleic acid test in that city. For example, the subsidiary in Taiyuan, the capital city of Shanxi province, was opened up in October, and Shanxi had an outbreak in November. Its subsidiary in Hefei was registered in September, and the outbreak in Hefei broke out in October. This has led netizens to speculate that these nucleic acid testing companies are deliberately faking in order to keep the outbreak going so they can continue to make money. As for Zhang Shanshan, she is widely believed to be the daughter of Zhang Hezi and his wife, the founders of Nucleus Gene, but this hasn't been confirmed. However, as some commentators have said, in fact, it does not matter at all who Zhang Shanshan is now. She is not the first, nor will she be the last, because the root cause of these phenomena is none other than the chain of interests in nucleic acid testing created by the CCP. Considering it from another perspective, it is very possible that the fact that Zhang Shanshan became a focus of public opinion during the White Paper movement in late November was a result of the CCP's attempt to channel public anger by saying that it was the nucleic acid testing companies that caused the trouble. In response to the targeted Nucleus Gene Group and its actual controller, even if it is suspected to be Zhang Shanshan's father, numerous official media are skimming the relationship between this person and the CCP's patriarch, apparently trying to say that even if there is something wrong with this person, it has nothing to do with the CCP officials, and everything is the fault of unscrupulous capital. Is this the actual case? In February, an audio recording of a Harvard scholar at a private gathering in China in January 2022 surfaced on the internet. The professor revealed that 6 months after the July 2020 outbreak, the highest levels of the CCP spent about $27,000 on a one-way plane ticket to urgently summon him back to China to lead a scientific and technological epidemic prevention project under the personal command of Xi Jinping.
我们这些领导的手套和家属们
The white gloves and family members of our leaders have gotten their hands on this nucleic acid reagents, causing the entire region to be tested. Whenever there are 1 or 2 cases, what they want is the procurement volume. Only by procurement volume can they make profits.
河川的采购量，只有采购量才有利润。我前天得到的数字。
I got the figures only the day before yesterday that this group made 670 billion renminbi, or about $105.8 billion just from doing nucleic acid tests alone. No country in the world is vaccinating in this way. This kind of immunization is actually funneling profits to interest groups, including forcibly vaccinating people and requiring 3 or 4 shots, all with the interest groups behind them.
打疫苗哈，这个3针4针都要去打，都是跟后面的利益集团有关系。
From the content of the recording, the so-called group is most likely the CCP's powerful capital. That is, the participation of high-level powerful officials for it to grow to this day, rather than ordinary private capital. In the wake of the White Paper Revolution, the Xi Jinping government seems to be trying to ease up on the epidemic control measures. But the massive chain of industries brought about by the extreme containment controls of the past 3 years is still coasting forward by momentum. It has resulted in inconsistent responses from local governments. In December 2022, a special bond program for the construction of a square cabin quarantine hospital in Shandong province sparked controversy. The program said that the project investment was about $16.6 million, of which about over $13 million was proposed to be issued as special government bonds, which accounted for 80%. Many other cities in China are building square cabin hospitals on a grand scale. It can be speculated that if not for the sudden onset of the White Paper Revolution, following the step of the nucleic acid testing industry, the industry of constructing the square cabin quarantine hospitals would have emerged as well. This video shows the head of a nucleic acid testing center in the capital city of Hebei province hosting a meeting for the epidemic prevention staff. I remember I told everyone clearly, don't do nucleic acid tests in your neighborhood. Don't do nucleic acid in your neighborhood. They are all fake now. Do you understand? Do you know what I'm saying? You will be rewarded 3,500 renminbi or $500 for referring someone to a square cabin hospital. Now there are a number of cabin hospitals built that aren't full yet, so they want everyone to get in. Do you know that? Do you know who has gone in? My brother was taken away to be sent there. I repeat, being positive is not scary. Nowadays, it's just a cold. It's a cold. Don't be scared. That is to say, it is the mutual exploitation and collusion between the top echelons of the CCP, the local government, and the nucleic acid testing companies that have orchestrated the distinctive phenomenon of the outbreak in China, which has been prolonged over the past 3 years.